Welcome to Business Avenue, your portal for relevant tidbits for your career and business. My name is Edmond Dramina, and it's my singular honor coming your way again with another episode. So since we are a few weeks into 2022, we want to bring you episodes that will help us set our career and business right, so that at the end of the year, when we're making evaluations, we will be able to make a meaningful one. So in this episode, we are going to talk about Key Performance Indicators, otherwise known as KPIs. I believe you've heard of it one way or the other. Okay, so a Key Performance Indicator is a measurement value that measures the success of a business in terms of meeting its objectives. Okay, so we are in 2022, a new year. You set an objective for a year, which can turn up the fortunes of your business. Okay, so you need to put in place some indicators or some guidelines that will help you measure or track your performance in terms of meeting your objectives. Okay, now it can also help analyze the performance of a business as it moves on in achieving a set target. Now, Key Performance Indicator is supposed to be tailor-made or customized to a business. So what a business has in terms of KPIs might not work for another business because their objectives might be different. Their tracks in materializing their objective will also be different. So if you adopt an industry-related KPI or a KPI of a business that you deem is where you want to get to in the future, you have to tweak it or fine-tune it to meet your needs. Otherwise, you will be following a KPI that will be taking you away in materializing or achieving your objectives. Okay, one thing to note is that KPIs are set at various levels. So a high-level KPI will be set for the achievement of the overall objective of the business, or that will be tailored to high-level management. We have that for the middle level, which maybe will be for departments and units. We have that for the low level, which will be that tailored to individual employees. Okay, what they are supposed to achieve in terms of performing to meet the overall objective of the business. Let's move on to the importance of a KPI, why it is necessary for you to set a KPI for 2022 for your business or your career. The first is that it helps the individual or the business to focus on its key objective. So as we said earlier, a KPI is supposed to be tied to a key, major or a crucial outcome or objective of the business, that which can make or make the business. Okay, so once you set a KPI, what you're telling yourself is that you have to identify what is crucial to the business and make necessary arrangements in employing activities that will assist you in meeting them. So it doesn't allow the business to focus on other objectives which is not necessary in the fortunes of the business. Okay, secondly, it creates a pathway for the achievement of the objectives. Okay, once KPIs come into play, you set parameters, you set road signs that direct the business in how to achieve its objectives. It makes it clearer. So from the onset, you know what you are supposed to do, what you are not supposed to do, what to avoid, activities to undertake to get to your destination. Okay, once that is clear, it makes it easier. Thirdly, it helps unify all the employment body of an institution in the achievement of the objective. Okay, so once you set a KPI, it becomes available for everybody to know. It has to be explained to all and sundry. Once everybody buys into it, it gives them the power, it gives them the motivation for everybody to come aboard. They know the destination or the direction of the business for that particular year, and it helps everybody to work on that. Fourthly, it helps in gauging the effectiveness of the performance. Okay, you don't have to wait till the end of the year before you make an evaluation on an activity or an action that you took. Whilst you are pursuing your objective, you can assess your performance, whether it is in line with what you have set, because a KPI becomes a benchmark, it becomes a blueprint which you can measure your activity against to know whether you are drifting or you are in line. The last is that it allows for a meaningful appraisal. Okay, so when KPIs are set at the lower level, employees are given an activity or set of activities that they are supposed to achieve, okay, based on which they are going to be appraised. So when you come to the appraisal table, you know what you were supposed to achieve. You yourself or the employee will know whether he or she deserves commendation or a punishment or nothing at all. So it's not going to be somebody's discretion on whether you deserve or you achieved your target or not. Everything is set from the beginning. Okay, let's move on to discuss how to write out a KPI for your business. The first is that you have to write out a clear one. Okay, so you need to identify the objective that you wish to achieve, then the necessary activities you need. Okay, without the necessary or the clear objective, the major objective or outcome that you need to achieve, the KPI cannot work for you. So you need to set that out in the beginning. The second is that you have to communicate the KPI to stakeholders, especially the employee, because they are normally tasked with the execution of their activities, or they are supposed to go through the indicators set. They have to be made aware, not just explaining to them what the KPIs are, but what accounted for those indicators being set. Okay, and open up for their inputs. Okay, because they've done the job for a while, they might give you certain inputs which will become necessary in arriving at a relevant KPI. Okay, the next one is that we need to break the KPI into short-term achievable units. Okay, when you set a KPI for a year or 2 years, it's essential you break them down into months, weeks, and possibly a day. It makes its achievements feasible. Okay, when it is long, procrastination might set in, but if you know what you're supposed to do for a day, it makes the target more relevant or realistic for its achievement to come out. Lastly, we need to be reviewing the KPIs as we move on. Okay, so there's 2 ways that you have to review the KPI. One is to measure the business's performance against the KPI that has been set, to know whether they are in line or they are drifting away and necessary changes made. Secondly, the KPI must be measured against the objective. It is possible for the KPI to be sending the business away from meeting its objective. So once the periodic reviews are done, it can be notified ahead of time and necessary changes made. You don't have to wait till the year has been far gone before you make a review. It might be too late. The next thing we're going to talk about is defining a KPI. So the first is that you have to define the outcome that you wish to achieve. Okay, so is it a 20% increment in sales that you want to achieve for 2022 or a particular period? Is it a 10% reduction in production waste? State it out, okay, and let it be clear. The second one is that you have to explain why that outcome is necessary for your business. Is it for increase in profitability? Is it to make your business more market viable? Is it to increase your chances of succeeding in the market? Is it to make you highly competitive? You have to state why that outcome is necessary. Thirdly, you have to define how you are going to measure progress for the outcome. So let's say you want to achieve a 20% increment in sales for this particular year. You have to ask yourself whether you are going to analyze the monthly activity to see whether the trade has increased compared to the previous year. Okay, if it's a reduction in your production waste, okay, you have to just compare your level of waste at a particular cycle to the previous year. You have to state how you are going to measure it. Then, how are you going to influence the outcome? If it's the sales, are you going to influence it by employing more sales personnel? Are you going to employ an advertising agency to help you market your goods for it to get to the knowledge of people, for them to channel it into sales? If it's the production waste, how are you going to influence it? Are you going to train your staff in becoming efficient so that they don't commit the errors that allow the waste to arise? The next is that you have to know who is going to be in charge of the outcome that you have set. So if it is the sales manager is the one that is going to be tasked. If it is the production wastage reduction, the production manager indeed is going to be in charge. The last, you need to know how you are going to review your progress towards the achievement of the outcome. Is it going to be weekly? Is it going to be monthly? Is it going to be quarterly, half yearly? You also need to know. Now, once you've been able to set a KPI, as we said earlier, it has to be custom made to your business. So you need to test whether it is relevant for the outcome that you have set. There is a criteria that we use in assessing the relevance of a KPI to the needs of your business. So we have it as SMART, S-M-A-R-T. The first is that the objective has to be specific. It shouldn't be ambiguous. It shouldn't be all over the place. If it's 20% increment in sales, it is clearly stated. It shouldn't be just an increment in sales, which is just ambiguous and it's not clearly defined. If it's a wastage reduction that you seek, it has to be given to a specific point. Is it 10% that you are seeking? Is it 5%? And even the wastage, is it a production waste or a non-production waste that you are trying to set an outcome for? Everything must be specifically stated. Okay. So the second criteria is M, measurability. Can you measure progress towards the outcome? So when we ask about your ability to measure the progress, do you have the financial resources? Do you have the human resources? Do you have the capacity to do it? Because if you are a small business and you set an objective which is going to cost you more in measuring, then the cost is going to outweigh the benefits. Then the journey is going to be fruitless. Okay, if you set an outcome of increasing your market share in the public, you will need to hire experts. You will need to hire certain equipment to assist you in that. Okay, are you up for it? If that objective is not easy to measure, then it's not relevant for your business. Maybe when you grow, it will come in handy. The third is the A. Is it attainable? Okay, you set a target which is too high, it will frustrate you. If you set a target which is too low, it will cause you to be complacent, okay, and not push you to grow. So the objective must be higher enough to stretch you, but not too high to cause your effort to demoralize you. The next is the R. Is it relevant? The objective that you have set, is it going to cause you to increase the fortunes of your business, or you're just following what others are doing? Relevance can also mean that it might be relevant at the start of the year, but when a trend changes, it might no longer be relevant. Okay, so you are a local based business. The KPI is helping you to achieve that. Once you move out of your locality, you become national or international, there will be the need for the KPI to also be adjusted upwards. If you keep to it, it might no longer be relevant, and you will be shooting yourself in not achieving your target. Okay, so we have to take note of it. The last is the T. You need to know the time frame for which the activity has to be achieved or the objective has to be realized. Okay, if there's no time frame to it, the KPI is not going to be relevant, or it's not going to be purposeful in helping you achieve your objective. Now, in as much as the criteria is smart, there is the need to add ER to make it smarter. So the E is evaluation. You need to keep evaluating the KPI, send them through the criteria that we have listed over and over again. Not too much, but it has to be periodic. Your eyes must be fixed on it. And the R is re-evaluation. Once you evaluate, you need to keep re-evaluating it, okay, to make sure that the KPI will send you on a track that will help you to meet your objectives. So folks, this is all we have on KPIs, and I believe if you follow through well, our business's fortune or that of our career is going to see a brighter turn, and at the end of the year we will just be pleased with ourselves, and our business will take a giant leap in the future. If you have any question, if you have any need for clarification from us on this topic or any other, just contact us on the information on your screens, or just drop them in the comment section, and it will be adequately and gladly addressed. Whilst at that, we'll crave your indulgence to click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, like and share this video. So we'll come to you again on another episode. Take care and stay blessed. My name is Edmond Jamna. Adios.